And maybe it'll be working now. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. You can see the room. We're packing up. So, again, not sure what's going on here, but waiting to see if the video will pop up here. And there we go. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's see. There we go. That works. Yeah, I got the suitcase out, ready to go. We only got about an hour or so before we get out of here. Basic getaway day routine for us is the later the checkout, the better, because tonight we're driving overnight to Chicago, so that's in play. A lot of it depends on the road if the team's coming in. There is a team coming in, so Cleveland's coming in here, I believe, when we leave tonight. So we want to get out, and usually, obviously, check out hotels 11, 12, depending where you go. Once in a while, late checkout. We got a late checkout today, but we're loading up at 1:30 and heading it's kind of our Sioux City. Got some eye there. Sioux City. Do this a little bit in Lincoln. Do it in where else have we done this? Did it a couple of places we've done this. We'll go to the mall and closest mall to where we're at. And in this case, just across the road here, just across 20, which we'll take tonight, is right over there, and we'll make the crossover and head over to the mall. And there's a lot of eating options. And the guys can get out and kind of do their thing, have a decent lunch. Then we'll go to the ballpark probably about 3:45 or so. So on these getaway days, it can be a little bit of it's a little different. A normal day, we'd be getting probably a 3:45 bus, 3:30 bus, depending where we're at and what time we hit and all that. But in this case, early checkout. And then we play, of course, tonight here in Sioux City and on to Chicago. About 8 hours or so overnight tonight, right across Highway 20, I do believe. I'm going to talk to Casey about that, see which way he's going to go. But we will be out of here hopefully 11-something tonight, 11:30, hitting the road and probably on our way to Chicagoland, to O'Hare. Anyway, last night, pretty good night. I think if you play a doubleheader, the best case scenario obviously is a sweep, right? The worst case is getting swept. And about the normal case is to split. And that's pretty much what your goal is. It's hard enough to win one game a day. 2 a day is even harder. But the Monarchs won the first one 3-2, exciting fashion. We'll show those good news highlights in a moment. Game 2 had some chances, actually left 13 odd, and really it didn't get – it's one of those rare nights lately. It's been very rare this has happened where the team has had the big hits, but had the good hits, the extra base hits, the doubles, whatever. Didn't get a home run in game 2, but had the doubles, but they were placed in kind of weird situations. 2 were leadoff doubles. 1 was a runner at first base off the wall. Didn't get him around. Didn't have the right running combination up there. And it was also 1 out. So he had second and third. Monarchs got the thing tied up 2-2, but had an early chance. 3 of the first 4 reached. Couldn't get him around. And then had several chances. Left the bases loaded a couple times. But again, that's not been the norm in this thing. This thing has been pretty consistently rocking and rolling, right? I mean, this offense is doing what this offense does and pretty consistent. Game 2, a little more of what the 2 ball games of what we've seen here. I think the first ball game here on Tuesday night was kind of it's not what we've seen here. These ball games here in general, since I've been coming here in 17, since that time, have been all pretty close. It's what Sioux City does here is they steal bases. They put pressure on you by getting a board. The bunt's always in play. They draw walks, hit by pitches, and they put pressure on you on the base pass. And that pressure usually turns into a clutch hit somewhere, or you either let your guard down or make your defense make a play, things of that nature. And they also lock you down with a really, really good bullpen. And that's kind of been their calling card. And really, last night was the calling card. That was their recipe. But they only won 1 of the 2. And they've had to use their bullpen. I think they really went all in like Cleveland did in this series. It didn't work out for them in the game opener. And then, of course, split last night. You're on the road. You're looking for a split today. The worst case scenario is you go 2-2 in this series. It's a worst case scenario. Best case, you win a series here, a 4-game series, 3-1, and I think that would be huge. I said it last night. I think this is a big game tonight. Not that they're all big, but if you could win 3 or 4 here with Chicago lurking, who's playing very good baseball, and I think you've really got to feel pretty good about where this thing sits going into the second week of August, starting on Sunday, or really Monday, if you get right down to it. Second full week. But, hey, I mean, nothing really to sneeze at. Show those standings real quickly here. I think I got those. Let's pull those up for you. The standings of the association look like this on your 12th of August. Again, you look up, and there they are. Those Lincoln Salt Dogs are right there in the mix again. There they are. Here we go. Let's check out the numbers in the league. The Monarchs are the best record in the league, but it's a 47-29. Half game clear of Chicago is Milwaukee. And again, Milwaukee and Chicago in a dogfight. Now, that was 5 games just a few days ago. But Milwaukee's gone 3 of their last 7, including a couple of losses to Lincoln yesterday. They're now just a half game clear of Chicago, and they're coming on. They've won 7 straight, half game back. That number 1 seed is very much in doubt now. It's game on with Fargo 2.5 back. You've got a really great finish right there for those top 3 teams. I really love that race. I mean, that's going to be phenomenal stuff. Winnipeg, a big doubleheader sweep yesterday. They get a pair. They're right where they need to be. They're 4 off the pace, but they lose the 2. They're now 6 off the pace. King County probably a little too late. They're 7 of 10, but they're 2 below, but going to be 8.5 back. Then Gary, 16.5 back in the North Division. Down south, Kansas City, best record of the association. Winners of 7-10. Lincoln, winners of 7-10. They've won 2 in a row. They're 10.5 back on the bumper of the Monarchs, so to speak. They pulled into a lone in second place in front of Cleveland. Cleveland, a game clear of Sioux City, and then Sioux City at 40-37, Sioux Falls 28-48, and then 11-64 of Houston. Interesting situation. Cleveland and Sioux City have a series this weekend. So Sioux City really, in their case, they are 12 games behind the Monarchs. 12 games with 23 to play. The Monarchs' magic number to clinch a playoff spot head-to-head against Sioux City is 10. So, I mean, that's just the Sioux City magic number. So, with that in play, you'll get the feeling they're going to go all in. They've got a huge series with Cleburne coming up this weekend, and they've got Cleburne again on the back end of the week next week. So, they've got Cleburne and Kansas City as well in 2 of their next 3 series. And I get the feeling really the next 6 games between Cleburne and Sioux City will decide what happens in that association's South race. I mean, I think Lincoln with their home games, Lincoln's got 20 more home games left. Their only road trip's a 3-game up and back to Chicago. That's it. And they've got home games left, 20. I think they sit in a really good position. They've got themselves positioned. Their real tough spot of their schedule was this spot right here. The Milwaukee series was the big one. And they found a way to win 3 or 4 there so far. And you got to feel like they go up there and lose 3 or 4. Well, then, they probably stay in that 3rd position or 4th position, kind of knocking on the back door there. But this big series win for them, coupled with the Monarchs playing really good and knocking on Sioux City and Cleburne, and that's where they stand. So it should be a great finish right there. The Monarchs do have that advantage, though, and again, Monarchs and the Explorers tonight. But yeah, it's interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. I think we have a great race ahead of us. Kansas City just does what Kansas City does. Everything should be fine. But again, really delicious finish. And the North, those 3 teams, the North, are all really, really good. Those 3 teams fighting it out for the 2nd and 3rd spot. Lincoln's playing about as good as anyone in the league right now, besides Kansas City. And Cleburne and Sioux City are really scuffling. But they're also got such deep talent rosters. And really, in Cleburne's case, Cleburne's the one that probably would be the one to be most nervous about, only because of a standpoint that they sort of seem like that just hasn't been put together at the right time yet. And if Lincoln's doing that at the right time now, perhaps Cleburne does it now against Sioux City and can maybe get back into second position. I think that one and done with Lincoln and Sioux City would be, Lincoln and Cleburne would be phenomenal. So anyway, we'll take your questions and comments. Let's roll the good news highlights from last night, game one. It was a dandy. Monarchs get the win last night. A couple of really big pitching performances too. We talked a lot about how this club wins on offense, but this club also wins on pitching. And how about Jamison McGrain? Great work last night. Here we go. Game one, good news highlights. Here's the 1-2. Here's one out towards center field. That's pretty well hit. On the run is Harris, still going. That ball is going to be gone. See you later. 3-run home run. He will touch a ball. The Monarchs 3 and Sioux City nothing. His 17th for Guerrero. RBIs 69, 70, and 71. See you later. 3-0 Kansas City. To another good start at Mercy Field. Avery Mason explorer, 3-2 Monarchs in the 6th. Pitch. Broken bat, pop up, right side. McGrain will make the play in fair territory, about 5 steps from first base as the bat shatters. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, got him, and the game is over. And Jamison McGrain gets the strikeout as the Explorers have the tying run at third, the winning run at second, and Kansas City notches a good news Wednesday in the opener. A hard-fought, exciting finish. Monarchs 3 and Sioux City 2. Yeah, great stuff last night. Jamison McGrain getting the save, and he was really good. I mean, that work last night by him, saving the Monarchs bacon last night, really good stuff for him. McGrain with the broken bat. I mean, it split it about 4 different pieces, and then the strikeout to win the ball game. Huge ball game, huge pitching for McGrain, getting the win in game one. Game two, again, Monarchs lost it 5-2, but batted the tying run multiple times, winning run multiple times, go ahead run multiple times. And just one of those nights that just we've talked about it. And I use the card analogy a lot in poker and blackjack as those cards come out of the shoe out of the deck. Sometimes they're good cards, and sometimes they're good cards at the wrong time. And that was kind of what the hits were last night. Good hits at the wrong time. That happens sometimes. And it happened last night. It ended their 8-game losing streak, ended our 7-game winning streak. So it was more of a for Sioux City and, oh, well, let's regroup tonight. And Cheryl asked me a good question. This was up to last night in the broadcast, Cheryl, and actually 2 nights ago. As far as I know, it's still the 10-day out window. Now, I will double check with that because I do believe, as I mentioned in the broadcast Tuesday night, I can't confirm that because there's been some changes this year. Obviously, the roster's a little larger. Apparently, there was a COVID non-travel list to Canada we didn't know about of some sort that I still don't think we know about. You know, when Sioux City took all their players off the roster, didn't have to clear waivers. They all just sat here and signed 24 new players. So there's some fluidity here. I'm going to double check. And I just had a conference call with the media guys, and I should have asked them. I will ask tonight and find out, get you a better answer for you. But I do not know. But I believe, as far as I know, it's still that window we've always had. That window's always been that last. You know, usually, the holiday obviously it's a Monday, and it's usually that Friday before. And I think I told the story, Cheryl, on the broadcast 2 nights ago when Kansas City came to Gary in 2014 or 15. Then Nate Moore, who was their play-by-play guy, and I were chatting, and I had the computer open. He was looking over my shoulder, but didn't realize that we had bought a plane ticket for Henry Wrigley, and he was coming. He didn't see it. It said Henry Wrigley and had his boarding pass right there on my screen. I'm talking to him. I'm just kind of talking. We're chatting, and he didn't see it. And then we announce a trade when the game was over because you had till midnight to do it. And he came into the booth going, "Oh my gosh, you guys are just just won the division and all this stuff. And turns out we didn't win the division. We lost on the tiebreaker in Gary that last day of the season, or last week of the season. But that was a Friday, and we had one more whole week. It was a Friday prior to the Monday, or Friday, a whole week, and then you had that next Monday. And that's when that was back in 2000. I think that was 14, but I double check, Cheryl. I'm pretty sure. I haven't heard it changing, but I will double check because it could be. Pivoting is a big thing right now. Any questions and comments as well? Anything else you guys have? I'll remind you of this tonight as the Monarchs Broadcast Network comes your way tonight at 6:30. As I will pull that up for you right there. There we go. MixLR at 6:30. Yeah, great. We had a lot of folks tuning in last night for the 7 hours we were on. 7 hours. I sat in the air for 7 hours last night. Gosh, I love it, man. I love it. Tonight, though, we'll have your Monarchs 101 with DV, your Coors Light Monarchs Flashback Moment, Joe Capietra's show, The Top Step, brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealers around the association, also brought to you by Midwest Ford dealers. That's all coming up tonight on the pregame from here at Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park, 6:30. If you want to join us on the video side, you won't hear me, but you can go and check out the American Association, AABaseball.tv. AABaseball.tv. That's the top of the hour at 7. Here, our friend Connor Ryan does a great job there. But Connor Ryan, the voice of the Explorers, you'll hear his call on top of the video. But you want to hear our call, it's MixLR. And that, actually, I'll put the link as I've been doing this. I think it kind of helped put the link up, didn't it? Do that for you here. Before I say goodbye and finish packing my bags. Got bags to pack, got a bus to catch here in about 35 minutes or 40 minutes. So anyway, that'll be MixLR. There's to the chat right there, so you can see it right there. Okay, Monarchs tonight. Kevin, dang, I should be down there, right? Yeah, you should be, Kevin. Miss you, man. Hope you're recuperating, bud. Kevin, a bit of an issue. You got a little tough one. I hope you're okay, bud. And because Sioux Falls is going to come here, had to head back home and to Minnesota, but miss you, mate. And was looking forward to seeing you. Okay, broadcast tonight again at 6:30. Quick Monarchs live. I'm going to try to move it a little earlier, about 10 till 6, just because of the time here. I know that 6:30 pregame show starting just really gives us a little time to get going. Okay, Monarchs and the Explorers tonight in game number 4. Oh, pitching principals, Nick Travieso going. It'll be Patrick Leday going for the Explorers tonight, lefty for them. So that's your matchup tonight. Monarchs and the Explorers, game 4 of this 7-game road trip. I'll see you on the broadcast tonight. Go Monarchs!